Good evening, Americans. This is your favorite alien here in Orange City, Florida, on the evening of Sunday, July 11th, 2021. And here we got the biggest issue that you have going in your lives, because it's getting to be out of hand. And it's the issue of COVID-19 and the vaccinations. And it goes back to the game that you played when you were a kid. Remember? Tag, you're it. And this is what I'm calling to President Biden and said, Mr. President, this is your favorite alien here, and I say, like you were a kid, tag, you're it. Tag, Mr. President, tag. T.A.G, tag. And here's the problem that you are not realizing. You, Vice President Kamala Harris, and all you stupid Democrats, and to some extent those dumb Republicans. The American people is always fed up with you, both parties. That's why you got a dissension rate over 30%. Because of TAG. For the most part, since you formed your government back in 1789, you relied on TAG. And you haven't relied on it for the last 100 years. I've been harping at you about the Panama Canal and yellow fever and how successful it was. They used TAG to a certain extent to get where they are and how they finished the Panama Canal. With $387 million on your part, trust from the American people to give you the $387 million at the time, which is billions and trillions today, and the glorified that, hey, we the American people did it. We built something no other country in the world did. Okay? Today's people look at that and say, long gone, we gave it away under Carter. Yeah. That's the way they look at it today. But TAG, Mr. President, TAG Americans is what you have been playing. All of you, whether you're politicians, regular Joe Blows on the streets, or that dumb president that sits in the White House today. With a stupid vice president, too. Yeah. Because they don't understand TAG. Kids do. Ask kids about TAG. Oh, TAG, you're it, sir. Go get them. Yeah. Kids don't tell you about TAG. Because in order to play TAG, you need the three things that make up TAG. And what are they? It's T.A.G. TAG. Trust, government, and the American people. And one, you got a 30% dissension rate, so you don't have trust. Two, you got a lousy government who doesn't understand what they're dealing with. And three, you got an American public who is so discourse, it's not even funny. Therefore, your dissension rate is over 30%. A good government has a dissension rate of 2 to 3%. And you're 10 times over that already, President Biden. 10 times. And you're wondering, how come I can't get the 70% vaccination rate? Yeah. It's because of TAG. Trust. The American people and government. You have given them nothing to trust. The American people have given you dissent, and your government is so lousy it's not even funny. And here's why. As of today, you have had people dying 300,000 since January 1st till today. That's as much as died between November 2019 and December 2020. So in 6 months, you had the same amount that you had in 12 months. And you're saying, oh yeah, but we're going down. But your dissension rate is over 30%. So what do you got? Less than 70% vaccinated. And the other 30% are telling you to go stick it. And they got a right to, because you're not playing tag. The trust, President Biden, is you get up there on your high horse and you tell the American people, we haven't done anything to mitigate this virus. What we have is a stopgap measure in the vaccines from Pfizer, Moderna, J&J. Well, the jury's out on J&J. And the jury's out on Pfizer, and the jury's out on Moderna too, to a lesser extent, because you got variants coming out like this new variant here that you have. You had the UK variant, now you got this other variant that's becoming the dominant variant. And you got those 30% dissenters there that sooner or later are going to clog your medical system. You got people that don't want to go back to work because, hey, you provided the incentive for them not to go back to work. You got government, both state and federal, telling you, forcing you to get the vaccine. Here, like when I came to Florida, I was vaccinated already. My wife was vaccinated. And what do we have to do? You needed a COVID test in order to get in here for 7 days. Even though my wife had a COVID test because she was in the hospital for the whole month of June, she still needed another one. See what I mean? This is what irks the American people, President Biden. Irks them big time. And you don't understand that. You're forcing them to do this. You're forcing them to do that. And you say you are the land of liberty, the land of the free. This is what you have. You're not playing tag the way you should be. Trust. Give them something to trust, and you have given them absolutely nothing on the vaccines. Why should we trust them? The American people have the right to be dissented, and the government has done absolutely nothing on mitigating. Look at the example of Panama Canal at a lower scale, where you had a doctor, Gorgas, who didn't have a vaccine. The only thing he could do was mitigate the problem and lower the deaths. So he went and mitigating. And the problem with that is the technology at the time, he had to use what he had at his disposal, which decades later turned out to be a pretty bad DDT. But it worked to clear the infestation of yellow fever and malaria to a certain extent there. When I was growing up in the 60s and 70s, Panama didn't record that many yellow fever incidents because they had sanitation and the other mitigations to get rid of the mosquitoes and standing water and everything else that caused yellow fever. You should have done the same thing with the atmosphere where this virus lives. You haven't done it. So you have a virus that's 1,000 times more potent than influenza. Influenza was more of a nuisance to you. You got a vaccination that you started back in the 1960s for influenza, but only 30% effective most of the time. Which helps, but you still got deaths. 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, sometimes 80,000. Hey, who cares about that? 80,000 dead? Hey, you get more of that killed doing car crashes and drunk drivers. See what I mean, Americans? So this is your favorite alien telling President Biden and the American people and government, you guys got to get together and play tag. Have a nice evening. Good night.